Lord Desai, respected Sehwag Gupta ji, respected Pranab Vardhan Sahab, respected Anjan Mukherjee ji, and Prabhat Ghosh ji. I welcome all the delegates and participants of Adri Silver Jubilee International Conference on Development and Growth Experience and Theory. I find this title very apt because experience and theories do not always match. Sometimes you have to make a little extra effort to overcome our intellectual lethargy in order to respond to the current problem with swiftness. I am told that this session will discuss the theme of land and equity in Bihar. This question of land and equity has also seen laid-back approach from many of us who are still trapped inside 19th century communication dreams. Today I want to use this opportunity to raise certain questions which demands urgent attention on behalf of academics and thinkers. The question of land in Bihar has been associated basically with two debating points: land redistribution and land acquisition. We are quite familiar about several efforts made in Bihar in the past to redistribute the land to respect equity in land. We can talk about anti-jamindari peasants movement of Shahjahan Saraswati and Bhudan Andolan of Vinoba Bhave, and how they tried to address this problem by sensitizing people about the need to voluntarily share land with poor peasants. Ultimately, both these efforts could not bear much fruit, and we suddenly find left-wing movement and organizations fighting for the land rights in 1970s. Without any significant consequence in Bihar, now even among old landlords' family, availability of land per household has hugely declined compared to 1960s. There is a very little land to redistribute among people due to rising population. The issue of identification of Bhudan land and distribution of pending possession letter among the 1.5 lakh families from the lowest section of society has again suffered in recent times. In the academic world, the debate of land reform has also linked to the productivity. It was urged that small farms tends to be more productive than large farms. Scholars like A.V. Banerjee have gone to the extent of arguing that there exists an immense relationship between the productivity and the farm size, which may have been true in pre-mechanized agriculture days, but not anymore now. On the other hand, we face propositions forwarded by scholars like A.R. Saban that owners' cultivated plots of land tends to be more productive than those under sharecropping tendency. Kaushik Basu also viewed that land reform is desirable not only on equity consideration but also on efficiency consideration, and said land reform will raise productivity as well as serve the goal of equity. Under the left front, government of West Bengal went ahead with Operation Barga and made partial achievement on that account. Kerala too had a successful step in distribution of residential plots to every needy person in the state. I am happy to inform you that the Bihar government is also making efforts to transfer small plots of land to people from disadvantaged sections of society for construction of houses. Under Bihar Mahadalit Vikas Yojana, the government of Bihar has started Operation Basera to help Mahadalit get a piece of land to call their own. This is a work in progress, and we are very well aware of challenges that lie ahead. Nonetheless, we realize that providing small patches of residential land to the deprived section yield tremendous political goodwill for the government stretching over several decades. However, we need to understand that Bihar has moved to a new level of development, which brings us to the second aspect of debate. While the debate of yesteryears were concentrated on land redistribution, now we face a futuristic debate on how best to utilize the land for emerging challenges of urbanization, ruralization, and preparing for industrialization society. We have to recognize that the use of urbanization is the most important instinct of our time, and it is not very difficult to understand the reason behind it. Urban space is much more liberating for women and Dalits than our internal villages. Any woman who even since have been to the metropolitan city would not like to go back to the same rural society which oppressed in her to the hilt through various kinds of command structures. Dalit also feels more at ease in the cities because the urban spaces are structurally not equipped to perpetuate caste identification and verification frequently. Moreover, due to uncertain agriculture outcomes and possibilities of alternative employment in a large number of patients and eager to join non-agriculture production breeds. Therefore, we need to realize that the issue related to redistribution of land have fundamentally changed after economic reform in the decade of 1990s. Militant landless labor movement has become a marginal political activity in Bihar because landless workers find it more attractive to join free national labor market. Workers from Bihar are working right from the field of Kerala to Punjab and also constitute the backbone of the border road organization to carry out difficult tasks in Himalayan region. They are involved in construction and infrastructure projects of all over India. The change scenario of labor migration and increasing mechanization of agriculture has made the redistribution of land and land a secondary issue, and compensation for the land acquisition has surfaced as the primary issue in the eyes of people. People are worried more about how best to get compensation for the land acquired for urbanization and infrastructure projects. The Congress-led UPA government addressed this question of equity in the land by building several safeguards in the land acquisition. Rehabilitation and Resettlement Act 2013, known as LAR 2013, the current BJP government tried to do away this equity of farmers by introducing ordinance not once but twice, 3 times. The Congress and its allies fought tooth and nail and stopped the BJP in its track to usurp the peasant right to have consent in the land acquisition process. For the sake of clarity, I would like to repeat some of those points on which Congress opposed the BJP on this question. First, LAR 2013 had a consent clause that 70 to 80% land lords have to give their approval for any land acquisition. BJP wanted to do away with this and wanted to take away the land against their will. Second, LAR 2013 had provision that if the land remained unutilized for 5 years, the land will revert back to the original owner, so that industrialists do not utilize this act for hoarding of land without any current need. BJP wanted to dilute this. Third, LAR 2013 had provision that apart from government, only a private company can acquire large scale of land for infrastructure or industrial projects, so that there is some kind of accountability. BJP wanted to change it to facilitate any private entity, making it easy for groups to operate in the land market. Four, LAR 2013 had provision that large-scale land acquisition cannot be done without social impact assessments. BJP saw it as unnecessary hurdle to steamroll their dream to help their friends to hold land holding. I can say with pride that Congress under the leadership of Rahul Gandhi has protected the interest of the peasant in the land and thus addressed the question of equity under debate. No one has any doubt that Bihar is at the cusp of a new growth era. A bright future awaits its people and it's going to be the growth engine to entire Eastern India. Entrepreneurs from other states are looking at Bihar as a new investment destination because Bihar has more easily available land than other states. So the land is going to be one of the catalysts of growth story in Bihar. The government of Bihar is resolute its commitment to work towards mitigating that ill effect of a historical legacy of underdevelopment since the British Raj. I am also happy to report that currently Bihar is one of the fastest growing states in India with third most number of registration in micro and small scale entrepreneurs. The investment potential of our state has increased, and with the better road infrastructure, access to reliable electricity and improved law and order situation, more investors should head of our way. The availability of dispute-free land is one of the crucial components of this growth strategy. Hence, it is a major challenge to identify the titleology and ownership of each land. The Bihar government is working towards participation in National Land Record Modernization Program, which entails computerization of land records, including mutation, digitization of maps, and integration of factual and spatial data developed at core geospatial information system. It is quite evident that land acquisition and compensation needs very creative solution to untie this knot. We need to test various models of compensation in order to balance the need of industrial growth and farmer needs. One wonders that what is land owning farmers either gets a steady flow of monthly rental income, neutralized against inflation and paid through DBT for the plot acquired by the government. The regular income model will protect peasants from conspicuous consumption even seen after one-time payment in the past in the several states. Alternatively, landowners may be made an equity partner in the street that to be set up there. We can create some kind of SPV for particular projects and share the fruits of development of land either in the form of regular dividend or sharing some amount of developed commercial land in the vicinity of the project to make them earn and share the prosperity. Additionally, there could be other models that the state should experiment with. Whatever is the case, solution should be fair for all stakeholders. I realize that these models of compensation will need to be properly tested and monitors work out before it should be proposed for a large implementation. But we should remember that asset creation for people is more important than asset distribution in the current times. I hope this symposium at AGRI will come out with some concrete suggestions for these issues. I wish all the success. Thank you very much.